Con, what's up? Old habits. Rose Elf. Tramadol. What is up? CFATS. Mike. Aldo, third day in a row. Yes, sir. We doing it. We're on our way up. I'll do some updates. Dustin, what is up, man? How do you get a copy of CopyPat? CopyPat is offered, man, through the membership. So you do have to have a Discord membership for that. It's on the link below. It's 50% off. You can head down there and then there's a form you fill out on the website. As soon as you fill that form out, it takes me a couple minutes to update that and get you on there on the list. There's CopyPat and there's spots too. Both of them are offered through there. These indicators are crazy. I mean, they use the any cycle parameters that I use specifically to track any points of interest. So those are on there. And, you know, yesterday we talked about the projection for the SPY that we saw in October. And that was projected through CopyPat. There's a lot of other projections that it has. On the weekly chart, that's the biggest one that right now we're tracking, and it's we're on our way up, man. We're on our way up. Right now, the thing we're tracking for the SPY is 420 by the end of the year, which is very likely we're going to get there possibly in the next 2 weeks. So I actually think we might even cross that and go to 430. We'll talk about that here a little bit, though, with everything. Harris, what day is the point of interest? So I'm going to talk about that here because I'm starting to get a little bit more information on what I'm projecting here. As you can see, a title December 8th scenario is a projection based on everything that I've been tracking right now. It is projecting for a push up around that date. So we'll go over why I believe this. But first, what is up, dude? What is up? Stream Elements bot running over here. Ileana, what is up? Okay. So it's likely going into next week, we see just more sideways pressure here. So you can see right now we're just trading sideways. We're not doing much. Let's go on the 5-minute chart. We're just trading on this zone. It's possible, I talked about this with the Discord earlier, that we do come down and test the $8 level before Monday. So maybe today, if not Monday. And then as soon as we get down to that level, if there is a small fake out, we can have a small fake out to the 750 as well and then start climbing back up. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to remain around this range here. It's going to be a little bit of a zone, little flag, wedge, you can even say. It starts coming back down, and then we start popping back up for the 8th. I think, and this is kind of like going back to the March 29th scenario, and then also the August POI that we had. The same thing here with December. You know, it's that 10-day range that we track here for the POI to take place, and we're already starting to see the volume coming in. So normally we see about 2 days of consolidation before we start climbing back up. So I think we're going to start seeing this movement and this crazy volatility zone right around the 8th of December. It's not meant to really be a prediction. You can take it as you want. I'm just trying to narrow down these points of interest, and we know how they work. It's just a volatility zone, so it can really go both ways. But I think things are likely to turn out bullish this time, and we're likely to see a bullish point of interest here. So, a couple of setups we have. Well, this stream is more really to go over the entire market and AMC. Why I believe that's as narrow as it's going to get here. At least we're going to talk about all these other things going on in the market, crypto, SPY, all that good stuff. All right. So let's pull up the SPY real quick, do a little SPY analysis. Actually, I want to know something real quick. I want to do a poll. All right, I'll do the poll here in a little bit. Let's see, bruh. SPY. Okay, man, SPY. Yesterday we talked about copy pat and how it projected this push to the upside here. We're currently at resistance. I think this is a bear trap. I think it's a massive bear trap. And I think what's going to happen here going into Monday, even if we have a pushback down to 400, honestly, like even 400 to me is a bear trap. I think we're going to spring back up and finally cross resistance and start pushing back up. I think it's too predictable that we are trading at resistance right now. It's like typically when you're at resistance, this is the fourth test we have, by the way. If just think about how this chart would look on this, dude. Sometimes I just like to pick at it this way, but where are my little arrows? Path. 1, 2, 3. I mean, bro, like, I just don't. I don't know, man. This looks weird to me. It looks too symmetrical, like too orchestrated in like a weird way. I think it would be better if we went up here and then came back down a little bit, but not really even came back down. I think we're going to bounce back off of here and then start climbing back up. I don't really see us pushing below this range. I think we're going to get up here first. Right around there. And then start climbing back up for the POI. For the next POI, right? In February. Here in the market. I think that's perfect. Same with copy pat projection from down here was the weekly was projecting a big push. Now I want to show you guys something because this is what's gonna break. This is the break here. Okay, so let's do the weekly chart here for SPY, and we're gonna pull up not copy pat. We're gonna pull up spots. Look at this. Look at what we just got just this week. This to me is probably the only indicator that we can finally say we're headed the right direction. Unless this gets canceled out this week, which is literally in the next 2 hours, we are going to close for the first time ever in a blue spot. So if I take out this right here, and I'm showing you guys this indicator because this indicator is extremely, extremely powerful. You can see we've only had one cross ever since we had this massive downtrend. Here's the weekly chart. We had a massive downtrend following this pink spot, and then we fell through, and now we came back up, and we just crossed blue. This is huge, and I just found this out today because, well, it happened today. So I'm going to, consider this, and yeah, my conviction is very bullish now because of this. Even if there were to be some kind of short-term fake out, this still it's still a indicator that in the short term we're going to experience some kind of a rally. This is a big cross on the spots indicator. If we come back here, there's only been a few where there's been saturation. Very few. I'll go to the ones where there have been saturation, and it's quick. It literally cancels out the week prior. or the week after. Right here. There's one, and then right here, there's two. So sure, we can treat it as a fake out and it can come back down, but it's just normally the way we see these like periods of saturation are where the spots are very close to each other. So here there's a good range. You can see it just trades sideways for quite a bit of time, but not the same. I mean, here we came close to the spots once, but got completely rejected. That's the first level of resistance. Here we just crossed, dude. This is one of the things that I talked about for us having this positive POI for AMC is that if we had this blue cross on the weekly chart, it was very likely that we were going to continue, and this would be good news for AMC. So that's that. We also have copy spots is going to project, or not copy spots. Copy bat's going to project something different. You can see here. We're going to do 50. Yeah, 50 is fine. So as this gets more and more data, it starts projecting different results. Now, the weekly chart, there's a big range here. So this thing can come down and then come back up. This is just an average, right, of projecting a good average here as to like where this is likely to go next. And I think with everything else, so we have this level of resistance again. We just cross, copy pat. Let's go ahead and go back to the daily chart now because it's going to be hard to look at it from the weekly. Okay, there's the cross. All right, so going into next week, what I'm expecting is, so today we're probably going to close right around the same range. I don't see anything crazy happening today. And then Monday, if we fall back down into the channel, if we go to 400 or something, I think we're going to spring back up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and this thing is going to rip all the way up to 420, going into the week after, which is a major quad witching date, December 16th. Okay, and that's part of this whole POI thing. I think we're going to head all the way up there, maybe even 430. And then once we hit 430, that's when we're going to get a pullback. This is going to be the level of resistance that actually matters right now, is not the one that is trailing back down. It's not this one. Pretty sure it's this one up here, 430. We head up here, and then we get a pullback. Like that. That's going to be an opportunity, I think. The entire market, just based on the POIs on AMC. So if we go back on AMC now, we can see very soon that if that all tracks according to setup and everything, that we would see some major price action next week. And it might be a one-day event. It might be a two-day event. I'm currently tracking about a two-day event. You're going into the 8th. We start popping back up. That is where we might have that POI play out, and then things start popping back up. Consolidate for a little bit, and then keep going back up. So, yeah. Yeah, man. All right, let's look at some questions. I'm here for questions too, man. Dude, I'm being suppressed. Nana didn't get notified. I'm being suppressed, dude. They're suppressing me. Okay, let's play around with some of these indicators here. See how every time frame is going to give you something a little different, but it's just supposed to give you a different perspective. That's it. That's all it's supposed to do. Hey, 45 minutes going to do something else. Hour is going to do something else. See, the hour one is bearish. But they're all going to do something else. So, 2 hour one. Boom. Let's look at GME. Man, if I still had that pattern, dude, on Shiba, let's pull it up, dude, because that is what we tracked here, and it almost tracked. It was like, dude, it was like fucking perfect. I don't remember. Was it this one that we were tracking? Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it was this. And then it played out as soon as we had that hit on support. That's where it plays out inverse. You could see the POI there as the volume comes in, the initial POI. But yeah, this was the pattern we were tracking. Look at that, dude. Bro, I swear, go back on that video, and I talked about this, dude. I was like, we pulled this pattern up way up here, and like right here. And as we got the pressure coming down, it hit support. This is where I was expecting the POI to just break through and play out positive as we're coming back up. So this is like, there we definitely have a break now on this wedge, which is good. GameStop also has earnings next week, so this is likely going to be positive in some form of way. AMC GameStop partnership, we'll see. That would be dope. And maybe that'll be the catalyst, dude. That'll be the ultimate catalyst. Why would they do a partnership? I have no fucking idea, but maybe for us, right? For the meme community, for the AMC and GME community. To fuck with shorts. Who's smoking, bro? I'm not smoking. Are you smoking? I called for 420 on SPY when it was trading at 380, and it's at 410. So, and that is all thanks to the cycle, my friend. All thanks to the mighty cycle. I'm telling you, dude, none of this shit would be the same without the cycle. The cycle is a god. ML, thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. You should see the video that we had yesterday, the live, that where we actually rallied. got blocked, so nobody can see it. And that is because of copyright music, even though that video itself is not monetized. So I don't monetize videos when we rally because, well, I will get booted for it. And I still get booted for it. So I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. So, goofy algorithm. Somebody give me some answers. We need answers. AMC's in a flag right now. Take away spots. They're not spots. Take away the candles. Candles sometimes distort the actual chart. That's why I don't really like looking at candles. Sometimes I just take that shit out. Give me the average, all right? Give me the moving average. See, moving average here. Smooth it out a little bit. Let's do like 15. 15 will give us a nice, yep, there it is, 15. We're in a nice little flag. You can see right here, typically with flags, think about flags. There's always a fake out to the upside or downside with flags. So right now, we're just narrowing down on these fake outs. My mouth is so freaking dry right now. So the fake out here can either happen right as we're headed up to resistance, or it can happen down here on support. Okay, it could look something like that. You know what? Let's do something fun. Let's spice up the streams. Yo, come join the Discord. All right, click that link. Join up, it's free. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up the stream on because there's a stream option now available. If you want to go on the stream, you can come in, chat it up. You have to, let's see if I can like add this option. Yeah, if you want to come in there and chat it up, you have that option to do so. And I'll let you talk, and we can answer your questions on the stream. Get you up in here and talking. That way I can at least maybe answer some. I like, sometimes quite like vocal, person to person sort of deal is a little bit better. It's more intimate. I can actually understand some of the things you guys are asking for there. If you feel comfortable doing that, I did this a long time ago, but if you want to come in there and join, you can do that. Vacay. Nah. I don't. My dude. It's illegal in my state. It's illegal. What keyword am I using? Logitech? The Logitech keyboard? It's a pretty decent one. That's a goofy question. Is my keyboard like, am I supposed to have like some fancy crazy keyboard or something? Make it pop. It's curious if you into gaming accessories. Oh, gaming accessories. I don't, man. So I actually just have a DualShock controller. I play on my PC. I just downloaded Warzone. I haven't really played or the new Call of Duty yet, so I got to get into that. I used to play with Rico a lot, but we haven't played in a while. He's probably listening right now. Where you at, Rico? Say something. You little bitch. Fucking Rico, dude. Goofy man. Need him. Dude, I used to just look at charts using, or I would look at candles as well, but I used to just look at the moving average way back, man, in the day before when I started the channel. It was just to keep it clean, you know? I do like it. I mean, that you don't really, you kind of get a better perspective, at least when looking at just the pattern analysis part of it. There's nothing just in the way. Like when you add the candles, dude, it just looks, it's too hairy, man. You gotta smooth it out. Too much going on. And wicks can sometimes just make the charts look different. These wicks that just don't matter. There's the click when the algorithm just clocks over and gets shut down very quickly. Very crazy stuff. Let's look at AMC plus APE. Let's do AMC plus APE. I'm telling you, dude. Once this thing crosses through, don't tell me that that's not a dope freaking chart right here, dude. I don't know. I don't think it'll get shut down that much, but I do see us getting a pullback on this POI once we do hit. On this level, this is AMC plus APE, so it'll be different from the POI. The POI here will be a lot different. AMC plus APE. Let's see what that is, actually. Curious. AMC plus APE. The average here would be around 22 for AMC plus APE, so it's different. My dog over here. Dogs. Yeah, it would be around 22. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There it is. Oh, you know what we could do? I haven't updated the Ethereum chart that we tracked here that looks the same. Now that I think about it, let's go ahead and pull that up, dude. I don't know why I was like thinking about it, dude. You guys got to remind me of this stuff. Dude, I keep notes and shit, but like I'm human too, all right? I make mistakes. Anyways, oh dude, holy shit, man. Look at this, bro. This is the updated version, by the way. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. Make sure. Why does it look different? Oh. Bro, I'm not even like lined up here. Okay. So here it is. It looks a little off. Why? It's like a little bit off here for some reason. Maybe because I took like a different time frame or something. I don't know. That's weird. I'm gonna say we're like right here. This is just a it's just a projection here. Remember, with crypto, things are extended a lot more. But look at this. So the previous projection, I've already taken that out. We'll replace it with this. I'll take out these because these are just spotting the main points of interest. And I'm going to go on the daily chart so we can see everything here. So here's AMC on the bottom. And then here is Ethereum. Ethereum, not classic. This is just Ethereum. So one way to why this is actually prime reason why I don't like using candles and why I'm going to smooth the shit out of this for you. We're going to take away the candles here. You can see a better version of this. Take away spots. Now we can kind of see what's up. And you know what? I should probably do the same. No, we can't. We can't freaking do that with AMC, can we? Unless I do like a line. I think I can do it. Divided by 2. All right, we're going to do the daily chart now for this. Line. Here we go. Oh, we get a nice curve. We get a nice smooth curve here. Okay, there we go. All right, a little bit better. A little bit better. I would like a little bit of a smoother chart would be better, but I think this will be fine. Okay, so some things to track. We have the same structure of a pattern before. So that's the first point of interest. It's just it's a pennant, it's a flag. Same thing here with AMC. It's pennant. We pop, come back down. This is what we call the mid phase. We have one here and we have one right here. Okay, these two. Then we fall back down. We're trying to fall back down. 2 major points of interest on a downtrend, which is this one and this one. You can see that with the volume. So right here, as you're starting to come back up, it's finally turning bullish. You're creating this cup with what we call a no handle. So it's a cup without a handle. And that's exactly what we saw here on Ethereum. This is AMC on the bottom. Put them together, and everything lines up. This was the other pattern we could have tracked prior to or after looking at ARPA. So ARPA was one of the bearish ones, and you know we looked at many patterns, and we hadn't really found one that looked pretty accurate to AMC, except these two. These are the only ones we found that look very, very accurate. So yeah, dude, I think things are looking good because, well, if all these POIs that we've tracked here on AMC are lining up with this chart here, which is Ethereum, we have another point of interest coming up here, and this is the one that normally kick things off. Now, the reason why I'm not, I'm still being conservative about this, and I'm not relying too much on this pattern is, well, there's a couple of things that are different. Here on Ethereum Classic, you can clearly see that right at this point, so on this point of interest, it started to curl back up, and it was already trending on an uptrend. Here, it's not quite the same, even though it can do that. I think this level here is a little bit too high for us to still be on this, what is this parallel channel on the way down. So I think the concept is correct, and I think the point of interest is still active. It's still bullish, but the price is going to hit a lower range before we come back down. And I think this is why I'm bullish for the February POI, not like more bullish for the February POI and us to actually climb up and hit all-time highs around then, because you can clearly see that here on Ethereum. It's showing us that. It's showing us that is possible here. I'm gonna take this entire pattern and see if maybe you can kind of see that a little bit here with Ethereum's chart, and we're gonna paste it again on AMC's now. Go back on AMC. I believe it's right around there. I would say that's pretty accurate. And some of these are right around there. I'm sorry, that is not, I don't have this lined up correctly. I have to line it up correctly, man. Here we go. Okay. There it is. Looks a little better. Okay. Ethereum and AMC. We'll make this blue. That's Ethereum's color. We can change this to candles now. All right, now we can bring back the cycle and confirm these points of interest. Here we go. And really, we don't really need the cycle for this, actually. Just see the POIs here. So I'm going to put, just so I can show you guys why this works, I'm going to take away AMC now. And we're just going to look at this as if it was AMC's chart. So first point of interest, okay, right here. Okay, price is going up. Second point of interest. Okay, all of these are inverse. You can see the price is coming back down. This one right here, and right here. And this is the one we're currently in. We're in the December POI. So the next one is the one where I believe we would have a pretty nice push up. And that this is the one where we would probably expect to see a break in the cycle. There's been two back-to-back. This kind of reminds me of November of 2020. And it's a pretty meta thing to say, because the thing about this cycle back here is that back to back we had two bullish POIs. These two are, we have November, which was earnings, and then we fell back down, and then we fell back in to the January POI. So these are back to back. We haven't had a POI here play out back to back before. There's always been a positive one and then a breather POI. Call it the breather POI because we just trade sideways. So right here, and then here it seems like we're going to get two back to back. We'll be bullish. And that's just based on this pattern. If we were tracking Ethereum's pattern, there's two POIs here that play back to back, because the next one, I don't know if I lined this up correctly, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much there. Yeah. Okay, so right here. There it is. And you can clear, whoa. I was going to say, you can clearly see that with, we're in the green portion, going to the blue portion. That's the point of interest. That's where it is. Everything else is just sideways or nothing. There's nothing happening between. So, and I keep saying this too, like, you're going to find every cycle, every pattern, every stock out there, crypto has a cycle, and it respects the point of interest. I mean, just for example, take a look at Ethereum here. If we were using this cycle here for Ethereum, and you're seeing all these points of interest line up where we see major volume kicking in. So all you really have to do is look at volume. You don't even have to look at the chart, because sometimes volume reflects a little bit differently on the charts. There are some that just you don't see anything happen. Tilray, for example, had one of the biggest volume candles on the entire chart, and the chart barely moved. It barely did anything, and it was recently, about a couple months ago, that it did that. I'm not going to pull it up, but maybe I'll pull it up in a little bit. I don't want to get sidetracked. So here, okay, 1, 2, and then 3. Here you can clearly see that's when it peaked here on, what was that? July? June? Right around that time. Ethereum, right around here. See why I look at volume a little bit better? I mean, dude, the thing about volume and PFV, I love PFV. Oh, clearly shows that by narrowing everything else down. So all these big guys right here that you're looking at, that is where the POI lies. Big candles. And you're able to narrow it down. Everything else you're able to narrow down. So yeah, I figured I would go over this, man. I hadn't gone over the Ethereum thing. It's just another thing to track. See how, like, I'm telling you, bro, there's so many indicators that I track that just indicate more and more upside. It's just confirm more and more upside, which is good, is what we want. And then you kind of just forget because you're so convicted. I'm still bullish, bro. I'm still fucking bullish. We're up 2% for today. Still not doing much. Just trading sideways after volatility. Makes sense. They're going to try and kind of kill these contracts a little bit before the actual rip happens here. So the actual rip, the actual next run we have, next leg up we have, going to dry out these contracts a little bit. So, okay, bro. I'd like to do a little bit more forecast here on the 15-second chart. I mean, you want to get a little bit more. So here's a nice little projection here on the copy pat indicator that we just used to predict the almost 2-month move here on the SPY on the market. The entire market copy pat predicted that to a T, which was freaking awesome. And it's still doing it. Still doing a good job doing it. Let's do 30-second. See how different that look. Whoa, that's 30-minute. I like the 30-minute, bro. Ooh. The 30-minute looks really good here. The 30-minute is basically doing what I'm calling for here, and it's not even projecting everything. Let's see. 200. Wait, I put a max thing on this. I should have kept it at. Well, maybe I can do more. No, I put a max. I shouldn't have done a max. It's just if you don't limit some features and some things on some of the indicator capacities, it slows the hell out of the chart. Sometimes TradingView itself, its servers, or even the computer will not be able to run because it's so much data that it has to collect. So that's why there's limits to some of the links and stuff that you can scan. It's the reason for it. You want a fast chart, don't you? Right? You don't want something that's going to be choppy. And I even have trouble myself, but it's not quite always the computer's fault. It's the servers are a big deal, and sometimes when they're having to run so much data, it does delay some of that here a little bit. So forecast, I always use a 50 length. I think that's a decent way to project the next couple moves. Here you can clearly see that on the 30-minute chart, which I like. It's calling for a fake out. So here's the little fake out we talked about. We're in this flag. We fake out back down. Could happen. It could also be a fake out to the upside and then come down. But the whole point here is that we're probably going to trade sideways until Monday or Tuesday. And then once we establish a bottom, this thing is going to rip again. Kind of like what you saw right here, dude. Look, I think this is just the way it happens. It happens like this with crypto. I can pull up so many examples here. But look, here you're on a downtrend, a clear downtrend, and it looks like a parallel zone, but it's actually a wedge. Okay. Now this wedge is trade back and forth until if this is the fake out I'm talking about. You come out very briefly, you come out and you cancel out this wick by climbing back up again. So here we fell out of support, we canceled that out, and we rallied. As soon as you come back into the channel, that's where it becomes bullish again. So I'm expecting something like this. I think here we'll get something similar. I think it'll be smaller though. I think it'll still be a wedge. Call back in. We're in a current flag. We get a fake out of the flag. We start coming back down. And then here on this fake out, it's actually going to look a little bit more like this. I don't know why. I think it's going to be actually more of a flag, not much of a... You can say it'll look a little bit like a wedge once it does fall back in, but I think it'll be a flag fake out. And then here is when we start climbing back up. I'll show you actually something we can do here with this. It's pretty interesting because the POIs, when you find them on the macro, you can take the entire chart. For example, we'll take AMC here, the entire chart, and we know that there's a point of interest right here. So this point of interest will apply on any time frame that you use it. If I can use this pattern here on the 5-minute chart, I can call this a point of interest on the 5-minute chart using just this pattern, right? You have to use everything else to narrow down the POI, but patterns themselves are a big thing here when spotting these points of interest, so we know it. So you can use this here, and I'll show you why this is going to work. So if we use that here, extend it a little bit, there it is. So here we got AMC's arc, or not AMC's arc, AMC's flag, pennant flag that we were in, right around here. And even on CopyPat, you can see that it's like projecting some downside. So what was the fake out here? Because, you know, myself, I was bullish here. We saw a projector. This is we briefly called it the pink pattern for a little bit. And it's just the projector where we see this happening before every major run up. We saw it back here. Actually, dude, if I pull up the entire fucking chart, you can see that this right here is a projector. It's a little projector. Let's do it. Let's do it because, like, bro, we're learning here. We're learning about projectors. There it is. Projector. Dude, I've been changing this color, and for some reason, it's always pink. Ha. Look at this, my guy. It's AMC, dude. Literally. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that, bro. It's AMC. Watch this. You know how you can confirm that this is a POI? Using the CopyPat indicator. Right there. It's pointing for downside. And you can see it right here. Now, I'm eyeballing this, but since we're on the 3-minute chart here, there's obviously going to be a lot more room for gaps here. So we're using a very large chart. But the structure of it, you can clearly see we're in a flag. This is a flag right here. And where's the fake out going to happen? Because we saw a fake out happen right here in November. We had a flag. Right, we're sitting in this flag. Forever. We cross back down. That's the fake out right here. Now, this fake out, unfortunately, dragged us all the way down to where we're currently sitting down here. So if say we saw something like this happen on AMC, well, then we would fall all the way back down and we would see, these lower levels here, 750 by Monday and then Tuesday before climbing back up. We could definitely see that, but we can also see a fake out right here that falls back through and continues this trend back up. So this is spotting here is just going to be a short-term either rip or dip volatility zone. And to either direction, it's just going to be a short-term, and then that'll basically fake this pattern out here. I'm hoping for just a very quick fake out to the $8 level and then a continuation back up. But if we cross below it and we do something like this, then I would expect a day or two of consolidation before actually climbing back up and reaching the $13 level right around, not next week, but the week after that. That's when I'm expecting it to, or the peak I'm expecting towards the quad witching date. But next week, I'm expecting us to actually start climbing up and reaching a nice range between 11, probably 1150, right around there, and then potentially the peak going into the week after. Because the way it works with these POIs is that normally they'll rally towards the end of the week and they'll continue on for the week after because they want a head start. They basically completely get rid of the option chain for that week of. A lot of people don't like going in on they're very risky if you go in on like weekly chart options. So if they rally it on Thursday, which is that November 8th scenario, then they're able to just take a hit on those contracts, but then still bring it down the week after, and that's how they hedge for the short-term positions. So it's a pretty sneaky game. They've done it before. I see something like that happening here. So something to expect. Fake and bake, baby. Yes, fake out, breakout. You already know. All right, guys. Now that I kind of went over this, we're gonna take a little long break here, a little weekend break. When I get more information, more confirmation here, I'll send some updates. Follow me on Twitter if you want more updates, and I will kind of go over that. I will say I'm gonna real quick go over one crypto before I leave. I'm tracking LRC right now. LRC has a macro point of interest. Let's go ahead and pull these up here. So some of the plays I've sent out one on Doge. I'm going to make this very clear. None of this is ever financial advice. This is just my perspective on what I look at for these plays. So some of the call outs that I just have are they're just my perspective, right? I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell. It's just my perspective. Okay, so for me, one of the things I do for crypto is leverage plays. I use cross margin. Cross margin gives you even more leverage in that you have something to fall back on. You have like an extra cushion. Isolated margin is dangerous. I don't like isolated margin. If you use isolated margin, you have a very quick range here of getting liquidated. That's just the way it works. It doesn't rely. You don't rely on any other margin but the margin that they give you. And the more leverage you use, the higher the risk. So some of the things that I do is, well, if you're using more leverage, you can the profits might be a lot, well, they're going to be a lot higher, right, if you're using more leverage, but the risk is always higher. So with cross margin, you don't necessarily, like, if you're bullish on cross margin, you just have to wait for it to continue the trend back up and you'll be fine. On isolated margin, however, any fake out can happen. Okay, this happened with Doge the other day too. I was bullish on Doge, and there was a short-term fake out. It literally, I was bullish, short-term fake out, and then it rallied to the highs that I was talking about. So, you know, same thing right now with LRC. Okay, I had set an alert way back here, and this thing is currently trading at a very neutral range. And right now we're starting to see it climb back up, but I see there's a point of interest I'm tracking on LRC. So this is loop ring, by the way. This tracks very similarly to GameStop. GameStop and LRC have massive correlation here together. So this is one that I am a huge fan of. I think this thing is gonna rip. It's gonna rally. So we'll keep an eye out for this one. But this is a good play for me. I like it on the Bucks. Look at it. Look at where it's trading, dude. Let's see what Copypat's doing. All right, see, so Copypat is clearly indicating. Well, this is the 3 days, so this is why we play around with this chart here. 1 day looks decent to me. It's slow, steady, climbing. Let's see. Spots. I use the 3 day a lot for crypto. Crypto 3 day. You can see here very quickly we got rejected here on the spots indicator, still acting as resistance. We're hovering and we're getting very close to crossing here. Now, 2 indicators that 3. PFE is not out yet. I'm still working on it. I keep saying this. I'm like, dude, when are you gonna have it out? Well, I have to finish it, man. It's not that easy. Okay, this still needs a lot of work. I'm trying to make it fully functional to where it works on every different stock, every different crypto. So this is still in the works. But Copypat and spots are both out already for use. So here we can see that if you looked at this chart from like, if we smooth it out, this PFE indicator, you can see that as soon as it crosses back here, this trend line here, I want to pay attention to this because this is what's important here. Normally, just like you treat charts, if you're in a wedge and you're narrowing down on a wedge, what do you get? You normally have a pop. You have that's a technical analysis, just very basic TA, is that as things narrow down, they normally pop. So here, not only do we have this on the chart itself, we're narrowing down on the chart, we're also narrowing down on the PFE, which is just volume times price, and you get the you normalize this data. That's just basically what this is doing. It's a filter that normalizes price times volume so that you can see how much was actually purchased on where the price is trading. Because if you have more volume, this right here, see how it's displayed a lot different? This right here is a lot of volume. You go up to $3, $4, but if I have the same, let's say that we have the same amount of volume down here, but the same amount of volume down here is going to be a lot different if you were trading at the $3 range, because what's the $3 range, and down here you're trading at 25 cents. So it's obviously going to be a lot different. We're talking like a 20th of the price. That's why this indicator is cool, because it normalizes that data, makes it all flat, so that if you were, this is basically what the charts should look like. They should look like this. This right here, dude, is what this chart should look like. But yeah, again, it's still in the works. Hopefully, I'll make it to that where we can see this indicator displayed as a chart, and it also shows some of these other values that you can't really see here. It displays those. Let's see, weekly chart. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this play, I've already gone over it. I don't have a specific target, man, for LRC. I want this thing to ride out first and cross these short-term levels. For right now, I'm looking at it as a short to mid-term play. Haven't quite decided where I think this is going to head next, but I'm bullish in the short term. Like, that's definitely thinking that for the week here, very soon we might see potentially come up and see this 32-cent range. Before that's going to be a level of resistance to track, and then after that, if it continues to go back up, then we might see some really nice levels. All right, so we'll leave it there today. I will see you guys probably over the weekend, next week. And yeah, dude, very bullish on Amy. Very bullish. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Love you guys.